My name is Tim, and you're watching Cybersport.com as we're coming at you with the Rift Rivals straight out of Berlin. After a hard-fought set of matches, I have Smoothie with me. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing really good, I'd say.
Cool. Recently, because I mean, you've had like a few roster changes coming in with you guys lately, and especially Ray and Impact has been a thing that many people discuss and they look at. And they used to be like different top laners. They used to have like different picks, different things. But now with everything kind of gravitating towards tanks, how does that like differentiate the whole play thing? How do you decide who goes in now?
Honestly, right now it depends on like who just performs better in scrims. Both of them definitely have their strengths and weaknesses, so we take that into account. And also, it's less like champion dependent now because like during finals of last NA LCS, it was kind of champion dependent. But now it just depends on like. Yeah, again, who performs and who does well on champions we need to play and just stuff like that.
Okay. I mean, speaking of like champions we need to play, we saw today earlier Riven come in. I mean, to be completely honest, it's not a champion you see very often in the NA. It's definitely not a champion we see very often in the EU. Why? I guess I could say a lot of things, but why?
Well, we didn't really account for the Gnar blind pick, so... you know, sometimes we just trust our players. Like sometimes we have pocket picks. Well, I will not disclose, of course, that we can play at any time, kind of thing. And I guess Riven was one of them, and it looked good in the situation. So in the champion select, we just decided to trust Ray with it, and it didn't work out, but it's fine. We knew like our problems, and we can fix it for next time.
But what was the idea like? I mean, what did you imagine that she would bring to the table? Because I mean, am I mistaken? Was one of you on Kennen as well that game? Yeah, Sneaky was on Kennen, wasn't he?
Yeah.
How does that synergize?
Well, it's just a lane dominant champion. Riven is supposedly really good into Gnar, but we made a lot of mistakes as a team. Like we were doing really well bot lane as well, but our biggest mistake was not being able to call that the enemy bot lane was swapping. And right now, swapping top lane from bot after getting a reset is really, really common. And if you don't call it, then the whole game gets kind of screwed over because, you know, if you have a good matchup and the enemy top laner is gonna get like a free turret gold, and even if you have a good matchup, it'll be hard because of that gold advantage. So, yeah, I think it's just our mistake as a bot lane. We didn't play very well the first game for sure.
Okay. You also kind of went into the thing like having strong lanes, and even before we started rolling the camera, you mentioned that you're on a team right now where every lane kind of carries itself. Is that your thing? Is that like your top priority, that you all just win your lane, then win the game, or what goes into that?
I mean, yeah, definitely lane kingdom is a thing for us. But I mean, in NA, when we're scrimming and stuff, definitely, yeah, we're like really strong individual laners. I haven't showed it here. I'm actually like pretty good in lane, but I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not playing very well at all. I don't want to blame jet lag because like I've been in this situation before, like during Worlds, and it just never occurred to me that jet lag affected me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm missing a lot more skill shots. I'm dying a lot more than I really should have, and even though my macro play is still okay, yeah, I'm not sure. My mechanics have just been really shaky lately, but I'll just be grinding solo queue to fix that.
Okay. Well, I mean, how does this whole tournament affect you in that regard? Because in a lot of ways, you know, we're pulling you out of like your split and flying you around the world to play here and then instantly flying you back again. How does that affect practice? How does that affect like we're on a completely new patch, you know, that you are now going slightly blind back into?
That's true. Well, honestly, I don't think it was the shoe bad because coming to EU, we get to scrim the European teams and experience new styles, new like ways to play the game, and more importantly for me personally, sorry, I get to experience like really good bot lanes. For example, Mithy and Sven are really, really strong. They like can teach me a lot of things about my role that I didn't really account for. Like matchups I thought I'd win, they find ways to play around it and actually win themselves, or you know, just macro plays in general, and they play really cleanly. There's some us G2 though. Other teams are a bit more on the creative side, but yeah, ever since Worlds, last Worlds while I was playing, G2 has always been a really good learning spot for me, and they've always done really well.
Oh, super. Speaking of doing well, I'm gonna like kind of wrap you up with a Shit, I have two. I'm going to be quick now because I want to ask you two questions. We did an interview with Doublelift before, and he called you out on your shot calling and your ability to like roam away and always trade your flash for mid lane flash. Is this something that you've had like training on, or is it just something that you do? Because I'm thinking like you've brought Lulex on as kind of a positional coach for contracts. Did you have a similar thing, or was this something you brought to the table?
Honestly, it's something I brought to the table. I'm just, by nature, I'm just like a roaming support. I don't know. If I see a chance to roam, I will take it 100% of the time, unless it like screws over Sneaky, which I'll never do. Like I always know like when he's safe or not, or when he's gonna lose out a stupid amount. So of course I want to do that. I want to do the best for my team, and if the best for my team is blowing mid lane's flash with like 95% of the chance it is, like, I will take it. And even if I die later on with having no flash, like, you burn your flash and a TP or something for kill to support. Like, I don't mind too much. Like, my KDA is nice, but it's not worth, like, making the game harder when I don't have to. So, yeah, I mean, I just naturally roam whenever I get pressure, and, like, that affects the game a lot.
All right, cool. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And for everyone back home, if you have any observations on this whole thing, there's a comment section down below. I think you should write in there. And for more on Rift Rivals, stay tuned to cybersport.com. Ta.